Hello, hi, everybody, and welcome to today's workshop, which is called Unapologetically You: How to Double Your Social Media Impressions Through Master Communication. Okay, before we actually get started with our content and I introduce you to our host, let me know in the chat where you're joining us from. I'd love to know where we have folks joining us. I know we have people already watching. I can see it on the back end, but please let me know where you're coming in from. I am in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is on the east coast of the US. Not sure where you are, but this is such a great format here because we can reach people all over the world across multiple time zones. All right, let's see. We have Cornell joining us from Oklahoma, Alvin joining us from Virginia. Nice to have you here. Yvette, hello, representing the Big D, right? Dallas, Texas. We also have Austin, Texas, Minnesota, Ontario, Liverpool. Hey, Carrie from across the pond. Good to see you. So here's the deal. You've already figured out how to use the chat if you're putting in there where you're coming in from. Hey, Rebecca from Missouri. And so that is also where we'd love for you to post your questions. As we go through our program today, I know there's going to be something that you're going to say, hey, I need some deeper explanation of that, whatever it might be. Let me know in the chat. I will be checking it, as well as Bruno, who is our producer from Big View, to make sure that we don't miss stuff. So with that, I am excited for us to get started talking about this really important topic, which is how to be unapologetically you. I mean, you kind of hear that thing, fake it till you make it, but eventually that's not going to work. You have to be able to be your authentic self. And today we're going to focus on how to double your social media impressions through master communication as you. So, in today's dynamic work environment, mastering what many people call soft skills, or what I call power skills, is essential for personal and professional success. And so, in this workshop today, we're going to be diving into three crucial skills: approachability, active listening, and body language. You are going to gain practical insights and techniques which will enhance your interpersonal effectiveness. It also can lead to building stronger relationships and also foster a more positive work environment. So, how are we going to do all of this? It is by welcoming in our esteemed guest today. So please help me welcome James Elliott. James is someone
Hey,
who guides entrepreneurs to self-mastery so you can overcome obstacles stop people from reaching seven-figure success, if to have more travel, learning, and fulfillment, spending quality time with people. James, you do a lot of different things. As I look at your bio here, I mean, it goes on and on with the different things that you've been able to accomplish over your career.
thank you,
And
thank you.
we are just so excited because you've been helping businesses succeed for more than 2 decades. Your passion is to teach people and help other people find a way to win.
It's
James
true.
is an international speaker and a podcaster and philanthropist. Everybody, please welcome James.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, Sharon and all. Pleasure to be here, that's for sure. Love doing this, love teaching, sharing value with people, and again, making my difference in the world as big as I can, and helping all of you make your difference in the world as big as you can as well. So awesome to be here, excited, and can't wait to share some really cool stuff with you, that's for sure.
Thank you, James. And as we move along, please do put your questions in the chat. But, James, let's go ahead and get started. So, what are some things that are the biggest blocks to people succeeding as business owners or as professionals?
It's a really good point. It's a lot of people ask me this, like, what are the blocks? What get in the way for you? And really one of the biggest things is not being unapologetically you. And good news, that's what we're going to talk about today. One of the blocks is authenticity. People buy from people they like, they trust, and they feel that get them, understand them, and that they resonate with. So trying to be too perfect, or what would people think about me, and hiding the real you, it's actually like repellent. It's like client repellent, or it's
Mm.
trust. Okay. You're like, you sprayed yourself in client repellent. Or you ever been on a date where someone has too much cologne or too much perfume? I'm like, I'm getting a headache. I need to end this date early. It's literally like that. Uh, and just the lack of authenticity, and just being real, right? If you think about it, all the stuff we see on the internet these days, and all that, there's so much BS, right? There's some great people out there, so much BS and fake this, fake that. Look at my house and my car, and it's not theirs. They've rented it or stolen it, or whatever. And people really resonate with real, especially these days. Not perfect anything. So my invitation is, forget about being perfect. There is none. And people will not resonate with perfect, because people are not perfect. People have our own
Yeah.
fears and worries and self-sabotage, hang-ups, doubts. They need someone that is a real human being that said, I was there too. Oh, and it sucked. I had all this stuff going on and this and that. It sucked. And guess what? I did this stuff and now I'm here. So if you're there and you want to be here where I am, come work with me. Come, come learn. Come join me. And that's really what you want to put out there. Versus, I'm so perfect. Look at me in my limo, and look at me. I'm so perfect, and I got 50 million filters on, so I don't even look like the real me. People do not resonate with that anymore. There's a lot of studies on this, by the way, too. A lot of science that perfect does not resonate with people. Whatever you're doing to be perfect, too curated, too edited, too filtered, too
Mm.
makeup, too fake. It's so that's one of the biggest things.
Yeah, you're not approachable if you're too perfect, right?
Oh,
Right? It's no way it's hard to connect with someone who seems all way too buttoned up and too polished almost. You start to
that's it.
scrutinize that a little bit, right?
The radar goes off. They seem a little too perfect. Danger, danger. It's like red alert, and bullshit detector. And then we don't trust them. We don't buy. And if you've had a conversation that seemed to go well, but people don't buy, maybe they didn't feel safe with you, didn't resonate with you. They felt you were too far ahead or too different than them as well. So again, be raw and real. There was a video I saw. It was a short, and the first, she's like, what people think my life is like on social media, and she has different 30 seconds of reels of her being in the gym every day and eating perfect and looking fit and all, and super happy. And then the second half of the reel was her what really happens in life. Sometimes it was her like being crying, and it was very real, very authentic. Her being crying, no makeup on, in
Mm.
bed, miserable, skipping the gym, eating junk food, and it was a very, very good and authentic and real video. You're like, holy crap, this is a real person. And just my connection with her, and my likability and trust with her went through the roof. Versus, look at me, I'm perfect, 50 filters, I look this good getting out of bed every day with no shower. It's just too much BS, and it will turn people off, because people know better these days. People are smarter than that.
James, do you think that that's why so many big brands, like world famous brands, use influencers? Because influencers are so real and they're not like this highly produced commercial.
Exactly.
Instead, you have a real person using the product in their real life.
I would absolutely agree. And you're right. Instead of this curated, perfect, happy family, we're all eating Smarties or Wheaties or whatever in the morning, and we're a happy family. We're all happy and a fake smile. Yeah, I mean that's no one like anymore. No one. And so to your point, influencers, raw and real, maybe too curated or too perfect or not. At least, yeah, they're a person versus this big, huge conglomerate that we really don't care about, have no resonance with, as long as our Shreddies or cornflakes taste good in the morning. I absolutely agree. I think you're 100% spot on. That's why they smartened up to, we need something raw and real. So I would encourage everyone to be that yourself. You don't have to open the kimono and show them every wound and scar and blemish on yourself. And I would be vulnerable, be open. It works on dates too, by the way, which is a whole other tangent. Works great on dates. Again, don't open the kimono, but be real and share some of
Yeah.
your flaws and imperfections. I was here. Oh my God, it sucked. Now I'm here. This is what I learned, and so I'm a real person too. It's like, I'm a real boy, like Pinocchio, right?
I like that. Yeah. So, what about when this translates to a business owner who would be interested in really putting themselves out there and they want to get started with maybe making videos or even doing like a live stream to connect to potential customers? And there's that whole thing with, I hate watching myself on video, or how do you get past all of that and just do it?
I got a brilliant and easy solution because you're right. So many people are just, and there's a question in the chat. Do you have to project an image? And sure, like I'm not wearing, I'm a wife beater. I'm I'm representing my brand. Sometimes I feel like putting a blazer on. Sometimes it's more summer colors today, so I'm not. Represent your brand, be professional. However the people are that you connect with. Maybe a blazer, it does not connect with them. Maybe a funny hat does, right? And it's such a good question, Sharon. And here's an easy answer, and you're gonna love it because it's easy. Yes, people's biggest fear is public speaking and doing video. What will they think of me? Oh my God, what will people say? Will they hate it? Will my friends think it's dumb? And will they look bad and this and that? So again, this is to your earlier question, Sharon. Also, one of the biggest things that limits us, caring, giving a crap about what other people think about us. And there will always be haters and always people telling you that won't work or this is bad or otherwise. And be careful because some of these saboteurs are your friends, your family, and some of your closest people that will sabotage you. And I can get into the psychology of why that happens if there's time later, or again, check out some of my shorts and my long form about why the closest people that should want us to do better do that. Anyways, going to my point there. I'm gonna pop some slides up here and just show you and give you a little bit of visuals too. Let's just pop through here as well. So, okay. To win, be apologetically you, become a master of communication. We can talk about that later because I want to get to your question. Become highly authentically influential and persuasive. So again, that authenticity, that influence, and that being unapologetically you will create it's one of the pinnacles to create these things, right? And continually invest in yourself. Courses, trainings, programs. If you want customers to spend a lot of money on you, then you need to spend, air quotes, a lot of money or invest in yourself. Invest wisely, constantly, every day, month, week, year, in something to yourself. It's been one of the big pinnacles and pillars of my success. It's continuously investing in myself and candidly a lot of money. And I love it. I would trade it for the world. I've grown and learned so much, and this is the man I am now. This is the business leader I am now. So, okay, how to do it, and to answer your exact question, Sharon, what to do and how do we stop worrying what people think? It's our biggest fear. So number one, be you. Be okay being you. People do not connect with perfect, vanilla, plain Jane, watered down, so we don't piss anyone off. Like just, well, I got to say this. And my biggest aha was that if I really want to share this today. This is important. My aha today, or I think people need to hear this today. But what if some people don't like this, or what if it's not totally politically correct? It seems you can't say anything today. But what if? And I hear that in my head. I know I need to do it. I know I need to create that video, that post, because it's powerful. If there's a chance it may piss someone off, again, this is not permission to be a jerk. But if it may, then it means it has power. It's a powerful message, a pointed message. My invitation is to go and shoot it right then and there. Avoid making it perfect. Just, again, if you think someone may not like it, it may ruffle some feathers, and you're speaking to the people you want to speak to or the past version of you, my invitation is to please go do it. So why are we getting nervous? Why are we scared? What will people think? Or will it look good or bad on video? It's because you're making it all about you. So instead, it's so easy. Make it all about them. How do I give them my best? What do these people need that I want to serve, I want to support? How do I help them? What do they need? And give that to them when you're doing a presentation, a webinar, a speech, a video, versus being in our heads, I hope they like me. Are they going to buy after this thing? I hope they pay me money. I hope this works. Hope my neighbors don't see me. I hope people don't chirp me and hate on my messages. And what if, and all the stuff probably from your parents echoing in your head. What would people say? What would people think that your mom or dad or grandparents probably said when you're misbehaving as a kid? That crap gets stored in our brain, by the way, and we need to clean that out. That's one of the things I do. And that will hold you back because that voice is, what will people think? What will people say? Right? And to, again, stop making it all about you, make it all about them. And again, I guess that answers the previous question in the chat. What image do you need to project? Well, an image that will have them resonate with it, that will have them appreciate you, respect you, and that will vibe with them. If your people don't all wear suits and ties, for heaven's sakes, avoid wearing suits and ties. If they do, well, then obviously. So again, make it all about them. What do they need? How do I support them the best? What can I give them? What advice can I give them? How do they need it delivered? Do I need to give them tough love? Do I need this post to be a little lighter? Do I need to be serious with this one? If you're scared and worried, what will people think? You're making it all about you, which is a problem because people don't resonate with that. You know, people are self-centered and they want what's going to help them, right? So that's one of the biggest things I would say. And then number
James,
two,
you know, I think people have to get comfortable with realizing that you or I we're not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
Exactly.
And that's okay. We just have to be all right with, you know what, this segment of the audience is going to like and connect with my message, and this segment will not. And
Exactly.
I just can't worry about that. I have to continue to bring value to that audience, help them solve their problems, right? And just stop worrying about all these naysayers or people who don't want anything to do with your message, right?
That's it. Exactly right. It's you know, there are rather about 8.6 billion people on the world. 1% of that, I believe, is close to 80 million people. So let's say you piss off 99% of the world and 1% of the world loves you, loves your message, and you're not going to piss off if you're trying to help people 99%. Let's say you do. Let's say 1% of the world loves you. Everyone else thinks you're weird, wild, wacky, whatever. That's almost 80 million people. You think you can serve all of them in your lifetime? Would that be enough people for you to serve? Even if 1% of the world loves you, the rest can't stand you, right?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So let's say you've decided what your message, the solutions you're going to bring to the world, whatever that is, whatever kind of business you're in, how you can help others achieve their goals or whatever it might be, or it's to connect with your company for you to help them. How do you monetize that? Like, is doing this kind of work, like what we're doing today, doing a webinar where we're helping to educate people with the hope that maybe they'll see you as that thought leader or subject matter expert in that lane and come back to you to maybe hire you? Or how do you, you get these social impressions, but how do you make a business out of that?
It's a great question. Great question. And I would say leave them breadcrumbs. I would say, so 3 things: be everywhere, be pervasive, be everywhere. All social media channels, create virtual summits. You do virtual summit searches or summit, women's summit, leadership summit, communication summit, confidence summit, whatever summit. And get in front of people. And yes, it can be difficult, although if you want to help people and make lots of money, getting in front of people, really, you can't lose. And then again, like this, find other amazing companies like BigView who go above and beyond for and I love BigView for this. They go, and then they get it. They go above and beyond, giving kick-ass content to people, helping make a difference. And that helps me as well. We help each other. And again, today I'm going to leave some breadcrumbs for you as well, ways to reach out to me, check out my YouTube channel. And I got some freebies, some goodies for you as well. So whether you're doing shorts and short form stuff, which will help new people come to your channels, you also need to do things like this, which is where BigView is amazing, helps you with your video. It helps create kick-ass video content. So people, wow, I love Sharon. Wow, James is saying such cool stuff. Cecilia, that's amazing. Yvette, holy moly. Kevin, this is awesome. Carrie, wow, I got to work with Carrie. And then they will light up your DMs, your email lists. They'll respond to your email lists if you have an email newsletter. I hate the word newsletter. Email version of your social content or your videos. Send that written out on your email newsletter. So that's a big thing. To leave them breadcrumbs, ways to reach you. Never do anything ever without a call to action. What's
Oh,
next?
yeah.
Hey, want to continue the journey? Here's how. Do this or read this guide. I'll leave you with a few freebie e-guides you all are going to love today. So be everywhere, breadcrumbs, and see, just get in front of as many people, talk to as many people as possible, ask for referrals everywhere. And how can you send referrals to them too? That way it's not gimme, gimme, gimme.
Sure.
Always
Reciprocal
asking
thing.
referrals. Yeah.
James, one of our viewers, the Ashanganda, I'm not sure how to say it, would like to know, all right, so you're everywhere with your content, but do you make, is it the same thing replicated across all of the different platforms, or do you do things differently for Instagram versus LinkedIn, or what's your approach for that?
Fair point. Fair point. You can take two strategies. You can do things completely the same, and it can work. It can work. You can also do different things because perhaps, let's say there's more business people, let's say on LinkedIn, so maybe it's curated a little more professionally. Maybe your video there is a dress shirt or a blazer, sport jacket, nice outfit, whatever, things like that. Maybe it's a little shorter. I find shorter stuff on LinkedIn tends to work better, and written stuff for some reason on LinkedIn works better than long form. Facebook, I find more video and reels, and yes, shorts tend to work a little better than posts, because again, Facebook, people want to interact. They're usually either procrastinating or slacking for a reason, or they're at home, so they have more time on Facebook and let's say Instagram versus at work, LinkedIn perhaps. So you can do the same things across as well. I've tried that. And you can do different things and different messages for different folks as well. I candidly haven't found that one of those works dramatically better than the other. Yes, ideally you would maybe for the platform make it a bit platform specific. But again, if you don't have all the money in the world, all the time in the world, I think it's better to have your stuff out there everywhere, even if it's the same stuff. Better than having like only posting to Facebook, only folks posting to LinkedIn, things like that. So I think that's a key thing as well. And yeah, I guess, and careful how many of the aggregators you use. I would post your stuff one by one versus using some of these aggregators, because it tends to derank your stuff. So
and of course, all of these various platforms are changing their algorithms all the time. Tina just wrote that her Facebook totally dies when I start posting video and reels. I feel like everybody ignores them. It is so bizarre why does one post work and resonate and another one just falls flat, right?
yeah,
It's a mystery. It's an
is.
absolute mystery. I feel like that people who work at Meta are constantly changing the way that first it's AI that's looking at the content before they put it out. And then is it based on human interaction or engagement? And then I have other things that are engaged, but yet it doesn't get
Short or
shared
long
or
or
shown to anyone. It's really, it's a game. And I think
it
it's
is.
always going to keep us on our toes, Tina. And for that reason, just continue to do it. Like continue to interact, continue to engage, continue to put the content out there and be as authentically you as possible and be okay that we're not always going to be everyone's cup of tea. Own
Yep.
your niche and keep moving forward. And so with that, I'd like to move to the second piece of content that we would love to cover today,
Yeah.
James. And
Do you
that
mind if I just
is,
mention one really quick thing, if you don't mind,
oh,
because
yes,
it's sorry to
yes.
cut you off. Remember too that yes, things are always changing, and things work one day and they don't work the next. And remember too, for a lot of ranking social media stuff, it's like a hockey stick. It'll take forever. Oh my God, this is not working, and then you can take off like overnight. So remember too, it's like bamboo. You have to water it and feed it for 5 years, and the bamboo shoots up 150 feet in 6 weeks or 3 weeks, something like that.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, wow.
So never give up. Keep testing,
Like
keep
a
tweaking.
groundswell, you just gotta keep at it, keep
You got it.
watering it.
Exactly,
Gotcha.
exactly. Sorry I wanted to tie that out, but that's a great point. And
Yeah, no,
Sharon,
that's
you have a
true.
question?
That is
Yeah, never give up.
absolutely true.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the next piece, which
Yes.
might seem counterintuitive. Okay, we're talking about how to extend your message, but to be a great communicator, you also have to be really good at active listening. So
Mm,
let's unpack that a little bit, James.
for sure, for sure. I like
What
that.
do you mean by that?
So great question. To be a great communicator, again, we need to be great listeners as well. And that could answer some of the questions in the chat too. What do I post? How do I post? Will people like this? Won't they like it? Pay attention to what people are looking for and what they're giving you feedback on, and be really careful of the ego. Again, be careful of the haters as well, but careful of the ego as well. It may be good feedback, even if it's wrapped up in barbed wire. Sometimes it can be good feedback from people. And to communicate confidently and powerfully and be sure of yourself. That's why a lot of my programs for entrepreneurs scaling from being an established entrepreneur up to 7 figures, that's why a lot of it is on personal mastery and self-mastery. Because if you're too scared to get on video, you probably won't make a lot of money. Unfortunately, sorry to say, you probably won't make a ton of money. Video is king and key, and people need to taste us, touch us, try us before they spend $1,000 or $10,000 with you. So video is a great experiential way to do that. Video can support really all 4 types of communicators as well. So listen, video, I'll say it again, will support all 4 types of communicators. If you're not doing video, you're missing, I would say, at least probably 40 to 80% of communicators if you're not using video.
Can you explain what the 4 types of communicators are, James?
Sure can. Yes. And then we'll dive in more to your questions. It's a great one. So there's visuals. People like visual stuff. So again, a text post will resonate with a visual. Then there's an auditories. A text post will likely not. They want to either hear it on a podcast or hear it on a live show like this. And great. There's video. There's action. Great. Then there's a kinesthetic person. That kinesthetic learner, they learn by doing, by experiencing, by being taken through something, e.g. a video. You say, try this. I'm going to give you all a breathing technique and experience, which the kinesthetics will love, and all of you will love this. And again, there's the auditory digitals, the people that love facts, mountains of data, statistics. They love this stuff. Bores me to tears, but they love this stuff. And I've come up with a really cool content posting framework to make sure you hit all these people. But again, video will help ensure that you can hit all these people if you just do a text post, and even a visual will like some pictures. So put a picture in your text post too, heaven forbid, 1 or 2 pictures as well, because that'll help the visual have a visual versus just only reading. So those are the 4 major communication styles. And if you're not using video, you're missing, I would say, again, 40 to 80%. Which is, well, it's huge. Up to you. If you want to make more money, more people.
Can I share a quick story with you, James, and to our viewers today about a number of years ago? And this was back when people were just starting to use video on websites and on social media. Actually, this was at the dawn of how social media exploded, back when probably like 2010, 2009, 2010. And I had a client who was a physician. He and his partner were physicians, and they were in a line of work in fertility medicine. And in the United States, in many of our states, fertility is not covered by insurance. So it's cash out of the patient's pocket, right? And in our region, we have 5 fertility centers. So a ton of competition. Okay. So how do you get my client, to be noticed amongst that sea of providers? And so what we did is we created a bunch of video content, and it was based on listening to what patients or prospective patients were asking, like the FAQs, like what are the frequently asked questions that your potential customer has? And I simply put each physician on camera, nothing fancy, and just filmed them answering these questions. And then we created a gallery of all of these frequently asked questions. It also helped with the search engine optimization because we had it all transcribed. But then here's where the rubber meets the road. Mm-hmm. When a patient would come, make an appointment, and meet with the doctor always said, how'd you hear about us? How did you decide to make an appointment with us? And over again, these patients were saying, well, I watched a video of you on your website. You seemed friendly. You seemed to know what you were talking about. I felt like I met you. Bang, 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 bang. I mean, that's it. That is the recipe for creating a relationship before you even meet your potential customer, right?
It's true. It's true. It is true. It's super interesting. By the way, if you're not sure what to post for your people, there was a question in my head. It was something that I'd like to watch as the audience. My suggestion is your niche, your best niche and target, and avatar is the past version of you. Talk about being fully authentic. You were there. You grew through this. Now you're here. Talk to the old version of you. You want some content? Talk to the old version of you. And what you can do, ask ChatGPT. Go ChatGPT. Hello. I always say please and thank you. That way when the robots enslave us, maybe I'll be head slave. And I say, please give me the top desires, pains, and challenges and outcomes that, XYZ want, or the XYZ and your insert, like, I don't know, women 30 to 50 who are corporate executives, whatever your target market is. And they'll give you, and you can say, please put this in a table format. And it'll give you a table of desires, pain, and just talk to all of them in your different posts. You'll never run out of things to post. Talk to all those things, not all at once, but one post is talking to one pain, one post is talking to one desire, or one pain and a desire.
And of course, James, you can put this into BigView's AI writer.
Exactly, right? Correct.
You can do the whole thing on the one platform
without even going anywhere. Correct.
You don't even have to leave the BigView platform. You ask, please write the top 5 things that new graduates from business school should know about social media today. And then record your video right there.
Exactly. Just right there. Exactly. Use the chat use the AI on BigView. And I love that. I love the comments there. Your target is a past version of you. It's the most people, what is my purpose? Who do I help? What is my niche or avatar? It's the past version of you. Why do you think you went through all that stuff and learning and crap in the first place? Talk to them. Talk to the old version of you. What did I need to know? What didn't I know? What didn't I know that if I knew that, oh my God, my life would be instantly perfect. Talk to the old version of you. Boom, there's your content.
So our other ways would be to, and this is one of the greatest things about social media is couldn't you, to essentially actively listen to your potential audience, put out a post saying, give me your top challenges that you're facing right now in your business.
Exactly.
And could you then actively listen to the responses and create content from that?
You got it. You got it. I love inviting people to comment on posts because your posts will go viral. Facebook or whatever will think, oh, great, this is people commenting. And exactly. Sharon. Ask questions. Hey, here's the 5 tips to have, I don't know, a better booty or something if you're a fitness expert. And, and then what do you think? What people, chime in. What do you all think? Or what is your number 1 tip or the best tip that helps you build a better booty or whatever? And have people comment and again, ask questions ask questions like Sharon was saying, and really engage with people. Again, the more people comment, the more your stuff goes viral, which is great. And yes, listen what people say. I had a couple of people chirping on me a post. This was a year ago, and oh, you don't know what it's like. I'm like, actually, I do because I was there. But I made sure to have the ego not get too much in the way. Okay, people they're thinking other people don't know what it's like, or that no one else knows what it's like, or etc. So I'm listening still, even to the people chirping me. How could I take this, unwrap the barbed wire, and okay, what do people? What are they really asking for? What do they really need? Maybe it's to be understood. Maybe it's to know I understand them. So I post a little bit more about my past, being vulnerable and authentic. And then again, the same people would comment, holy crap, I didn't know that about you, or wow, that's great advice. Thank you. You sound just like me. Right,
yeah. So. Sometimes hearing the message from the naysayers can be a whole new avenue for content, right? Okay. One time I do a talk about being the CEO of your own health. And I've had a health challenge in the past and family members of mine, and how you really have to take charge of your own health and not just rely on your once a year physical exam. And I had put out on this post that I'm a big believer in eating organic foods, organic fruits and vegetables. Well, then someone commented and said, well, that's all so nice for you, privileged girl. I can't afford to buy organic. And rather than get angry, I said, I hear you. There are a lot of people who feel the same way, that it's too expensive. However, I can tell you unequivocally that chemotherapy costs way more than organic fruits and vegetables.
So does having crappy health. So does having crappy health. And again, exactly to your point, Sharon, you could say, hey, top places to find organic food cheaper. You could do you a
Yes.
post on that, or how to, I don't know,
Yeah.
how to grow your own organic food, or you've probably heard of the Dirty Dozen, the Clean 15. Obviously, it's like,
Sure.
hey, what foods just absolutely should be organic, covered in pesticides if they're not, and what foods, like maybe like an avocado, it's got a shell you don't eat. Maybe okay, eat regular avocados, or tips to be able to eat organic without breaking your budget, or hey, maybe eat, go to a farmer, and if they don't spray there, then maybe you could eat those instead of being certified or whatever. There's a million ways to do it. I love Sharon's example. Listen to people's feedback and think, what do they need? What are they between the lines? What are they
Yeah.
asking for between the words? What are they actually saying and asking for? And it's genius. I love what Sharon just said. Read
Yeah,
between
so
the words.
that's the way to come up with even more content, right? That's really a strong way to, not that you're trying to persuade, or I mean, sometimes I believe everybody should be eating
Fair.
fresher, more organic foods, but that's my opinion. Not everybody has the ability or access to that, and that's a huge problem. But anyhow, that really listening to both the positive and negative, and then extracting potential content pieces from that. Each one of those engaged comments could be a whole new video, right?
It's so true. It's so true. And yeah, I mean, and I always say you're going to pay either way. You can either pay now for your health with better food, better exercise, whatever, or you can pay later with crappy health. You're going to pay one way or another. You just decide
Yeah.
when you want to do it. And if you want to pay when you're exhausted and burnt out and tired and achy, or you pay now, have a kick-ass life, have more energy to put into your videos, put into your business, put into helping people, and then you will be rich well, I'll use the word rich. You will be rich and abundant anyways, and you're like, cool, organic food all day long. So food for thought.
So we've talked about approachability,
Yeah,
active listening.
we
The
did.
third pillar that we wanted to cover today is body language.
Mhm.
So tell us what your thoughts are, James, on being unapologetically you, and how that manifests itself in your body language and how you present to the world.
Great question, Sharon. Great question. And again, being unapologetically, you will create more powerful, more confident body language too. In fact, part of my courses is on body language, how to read it and how to get data from it when you're seeing it in people, and then how to exude powerful body language and how to avoid these killer mistakes that'll have people shut down, whether you're on video, whether you're in person. So the body language is great. I love it. And speaking of body language too, I maybe have something that's a bit different from you. You all may have seen this gentleman, really funny guy. He gives you daily reminders, got a gravelly voice, talks like this, millions of followers, and he's got a gravelly voice, really cool dude. And he's got sunglasses on, but they're not on, they're up here. And when he does his 1 minute thing, and he's like, have a great day, or remember, whatever, and he'll go, and his sunglasses will go from up here to down here, and he'll like slide off to the side. It's have your thing. It's I can't remember his name. He's hilarious. He's like, and the sunglasses go down, and then he kind of slides out of the scene. Have something fun. Have your own shtick if you want, whatever it is, right? If you want, optional, not required. Certainly, it does make it a little more fun and a little more memorable. And I think it's hilarious. So I'm like, oh, I gotta follow this guy. And then his content was very valuable.
Do you have a little body language shtick or a little go-to kind of thing that you use, James?
I probably do. I mean, you've probably heard me say a few times on here, listen. And that's often my listen. I often do, if I'm making a point, I'll almost like spreading the table. It's like, this is very important. Like you guys got to listen and got to understand this. So sometimes it's spreading the tablecloth or listen kind of thing. Do I have the sunglasses? Maybe I should have something like that, but not yet. So great question. Not yet. And again, communication. Most of all, if you've heard that communication is mostly tone and even a greater percentage body language. Right?
Yes.
Most of our communication is body language. I can say nice shirt, or nice shirt. I've said the
Mhm.
same thing 4 or 5 different ways, same words, excuse me, 4 or 5 different ways with different meanings entirely.
Sure.
So it comes out in your tone, your body language, whether you're confident, whether you're not. So that's why I always advocate for personal development, working on yourself, and self mastery. I live and breathe this stuff. It's so important to scaling to 7 figures and beyond, right? And being happy there too, versus being rich and broken, which in my opinion is not successful at all. If you have no time or no health or no friends, no family, and you're rich, that is not success. I don't want that life. I don't want your life. No respect, no disrespect, but I don't want your life. I want a life of abundance and friends and family, fun, giving back, and fulfillment. And I think that's the way to be happy. And yes, let's have an abundant life. We can give back and do all kinds of cool stuff. So what happens is our body will not lie. Your body doesn't
Mm.
lie. And if you observe other people too, their body doesn't lie. Now, this is not a body language or or lie detection course. People's bodies do not lie. They may say something. A lot of people will say this, I'm the best, whatever, whatever on the internet. I've got such great opinions and great advice. You can count on me. And you see it all the time. And now you'll see it. Now that I mention it, you'll see it everywhere. Be very, very careful what your body language is doing, and it's not counteracting or negating what you're saying. So that's number one. That's number one. It may do that with a head shake or a gentle nod when they're saying something. I would never do that to you. So it's fascinating watching body language.
It has to work congruently with whatever the message is. Otherwise, people aren't going to believe it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That will turn people off, send them away, despite it being a great talk. The other thing too, how your body will tell the truth. If you're nervous, you're anxious as well, people will see it, they'll hear it, they'll get it. So again, working on ourselves, being confident, and again, forgetting what people think about you, forgetting what people worry, stopping the worry as well. And that will help you have more powerful body language. I have a breathing technique we'll get to in a little bit that will help you be more present, calm, powerful, confident, and grounded. Again, stop worrying about people, what they think. Forget about being perfect. People, again, don't resonate with it. So there's no point anyways. And I'll teach you a little tool too. If you do make a mistake, because heaven forbid we make a mistake, and I used to reshoot my videos all over again. I don't even bother. I say, rather blah, 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 and I'll continue. Or I'll step to the side. I'll say, easy for him to say if I stumble over, and then I'll step back in. And it's fun. It's funny. It also dissociates you from the easy for him to say, dissociates you from the mistake as well. So it's like
bloopers. I mean, like people love a blooper, right? I mean, it's okay. And I love your tip about rather. When I was a newscaster, I learned that from watching the weather people, the meteorologists. So, for example, they would stand in front of the green wall and she might say, today it's going to be a high of 52, rather 56 degrees. So they made the correction in real time without apologizing, without saying, oh, sorry, I meant to say, oh, I made a mistake. They just rather their way out of it.
Unapologetically, exactly. So you make a mistake, big deal. It's raw, it's real, it's human versus perfectly created, doing 100 takes, trying to get someone oh my God, talk about a waste of time. 100 takes trying to make something perfect. Use Big View, tweak it, edit if you want, cut things out that are really bad. You have the Big View tools, of course, to do that.
Sure.
If it's little mistakes, it's up to you.
A couple little things. Now, I really want to hear about this breathing technique because most people, 97% of people get nervous before speaking, whether it's in person or on camera like now. And that's okay. In my view, if you're nervous, it means you care about what you're doing. And it's about your audience and not you. But how do we quell those nerves using your breathing technique, James?
Great question. So, and by the way, this will also help you flow better, be more creative to help the stuff you're speaking on stage, on camera, wherever, live webinar. It'll make it flow from you as well because your subconscious and conscious are connected versus trying to do all the things you're doing with your 5% of your conscious brain instead of and recruiting the 95% of your subconscious brain. So it's called 4-7-8 breathing. One of the best breathing techniques I've ever found.
Say it again.
Yes,
4-7-8. 8.
And
Okay.
what it is you inhale for 4, you hold it for 7, which gives you a sense of control over the body, and you exhale over 8. Why do you do this? Why does it work? Well, the neuroscience behind it is inhaling, we use more of our sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight flight. Exhaling, we use more of the parasympathetic, rest and digest and just kind of chill and flow. That way, by doubling the exhale, you're doubling the time you're in rest and digest. So heck, everyone do 2 of them with me. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Hold it for 7, 6, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 3, 2, 1. Slowly exhale over 8, 7. Listen to my voice. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 1. You see the sound of my power and the resonance of my voice
Wow.
now?
Yeah.
You know, do that before you do videos, speaking, tough talk, interview, sales, anything. You will be a different person as you. I'm even speaking slower now too. I often get very
Yeah.
excited.
It's changed. Wow.
Yeah,
It changes the tenor and how you're
huge.
coming across.
That
Wow.
was 1. Do
Just
3,
one.
4,
How
5, or
many would
6.
you recommend people do before they
Yeah.
hit the record button?
Honestly, you could do 3, 4, 5, 6, as long as you're present, grounded, and you're in a place where I feel better. I'm powerful. You're out of your head. A couple of people mentioned in the chat that just being in our head, wondering what to do. Will I like this? Will people like this? Will they resonate with it? Will people hate on it? A lot of that stuff, most of it, in fact, will go away 4, 7, 8, and just it sinks you right down. It bridges your conscious and subconscious mind. So instead of trying to be great with 5% of your brain, you can do it with 100% of your brain, way more creative, way more calm, powerful, present. It flows. It's easy. You just do give your best. Oh my gosh, talk about making a huge, huge difference. Try it, please. Love it. And teach it to other people. It is incredible. I didn't invent it. However, I use it and I mean, can't sleep at night. Do some 4, 7, 8 breathing as well. I got a whole bunch of
Wow.
other
Okay.
yeah,
Let
it's
me
powerful.
ask you this
Yeah.
question, James. Have you ever combined this breathing technique with Amy Cuddy's technique about getting big
I
with the
love that.
power pose?
Presence.
I love an Amy Cuddy power pose. I either do Wonder Woman or YMCA
I love
to
it. I love it.
add that extra boost of confidence. Do you think that's an actual thing?
I think so too. I think so. I mean, Amy's got a great book for people that haven't heard of her called Presence. A great book called Presence. I loved it. And again, to your point, Sharon, there is science showing that power posing, you know, hands on hips, fists on hips, however you do it, you know, head up, chest up, head high.
Yeah.
Literally 2 to 3 minutes will completely change your entire state. I've seen it happen in literally 20 to 30 seconds.
Wow.
And yeah, and I mean, if you do this standing head high and try to be sad, it doesn't work so well.
No.
Not at all. Versus if you're slouched down, oh, I'm a bored teenager, whatever, and you try to get excited, do it with me at home. Yay! Yeehaw! Woo! It's hard to get excited. So when you're doing video on the phone, either sit, not rigid, but erect, or stand as well, stand and communicate in a way that's powerful. I mean, you even your breath, you can breathe versus talk about disempowered speaking, communication, videos, sales, you name it. So there we go. And yes, I love that. The power posing, 4, 7, 8 breathing, doing it at the same time if you want. Wow, a change in your power and your presence, and even effectiveness of using your diaphragm to speak versus only using your throat. And it sounds like you're hoarse, you run out of air. Versus using your diaphragm, I can go on speaking for a minute or two. It's powerful. It's easy. I'm not constricting and ruining my vocal cords. If you're doing a lot of speaking videos, training, live stuff, I do sometimes I'm speaking for 8, 9 hours a day. If I use my vocal cords all day long, I'd be fried.
That
So
would
there
be,
we go.
yeah.
I love the
Yes, you have to
idea.
take care of your voice is your instrument, right? It's one of the things, and I wonder if any of our viewers have ever watched Julian Treasure's TED Talk. James, I'd be curious if he's done a couple. One of them has millions of views, and he says the human voice It's the instrument we all play. It can start a war or
Mm,
say, I love you.
yes.
Oh my gosh. Like that gives me chill bumps because it really
So true.
speaks to the power of communication.
Yeah.
And words should not be cheap. Words matter and we should make the most of them, but also be real,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just like all
Right
the
on.
things. Now, as we come to the close of our hour, I believe that you have a nice giveaway for our viewers today
I do.
and would love for you to tell us a little bit more about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love Big View and all you out there in Big View land. So much I've given you two. In fact, there's two
Oh,
awesome
2
giveaways.
giveaways.
There's
Awesome.
two dose, whatever you is in dose. That's about all the languages I know. Here we are on the screen here. There is the 8 keys that transform business owners into 7-figure business leaders. So if you have a business, if even 4 figures, 5, 6 figures, and you're at a revenue plateau or just slow to start, you want something to rocket you to success, this is one of them that's incredible keys, and 8 of them, in fact, that I found totally helped myself and a lot of other 7-figure business leaders. There's also a freebie, short e-guides, not a ton of reading. It's not overwhelming. They're short, quick, powerful guides. You can almost call them the cheat sheets that are, 10, 15 pages long. The Influence and Persuasion Playbook. This is all
Ooh.
about hearing more people say yes to you, to choose and support you, right? They hire you, they choose you, they support you, they work with you. The Influence and Persuasion Playbook is all about ethical and authentic persuasion, and of course being unapologetically you, and using some really cool principles, again authentically, in a way to, I suppose, influence people and ethically persuade them to want to work with you, to want to do business with you. It'll make your videos themselves amazing as well. And I'll give you one more thing about body language that I forgot to touch on, that I want to touch on as well. These are some goodies, some giveaways as well for you. Again, feel free to visit my YouTube channel as well. We'll put that in the post reels here, or in the post in general. After the post, we'll put my YouTube channel there, and it's probably in my bio anyways on Big View. Otherwise, just search for James R. Elliott, Unleash Your Power, James R. Elliott, and you'll find all kinds of great stuff on YouTube as well. So there's 2 little guides for you that have come from my life's work. I hope you enjoy them, and I can promise you, you live even by a few of those principles, and you will skyrocket to 7 figures faster than you can ever imagine.
And you, James, are a product of this work. Isn't that right? I mean, you
I,
are proof positive that putting into play these various principles and techniques that you are teaching, you're your own best, really proof of performance, right?
it's so true. Thank you for saying that and acknowledging it. And you're right. I've grown so much. I've lived through a lot. I've gone through a lot. None of us are perfect. There's people that have gone through a lot more than me too. Although I've overcome it, and to your point, now I can actually support people who are the old version of me. I'm here now. I did all this stuff. I can show them that if you do this stuff, 8 keys, whatever whatever you want, and you'll get here with me. So that's what I love to do, and that's absolutely right. I've spent a lot of money, time, energy, blood, sweat, tears, heartache, joy, success in the last over 24 years now, and I wouldn't in the moment, in the moments years ago, you might be like, how would I ever say this? But I will say that I would never give it up or change any of it. I might have done some things differently. I'm super glad the experience happened, and I had that experience for sure. And as I gave you some powerful, concise body language, remember not to be doing this when you communicate. It's very distracting, and it actually shows that you're nervous over communicating powerfully. Pointed ideas, suggestions, intentional, like move with intentionality when you communicate and speak, just to tie out in that body language questionnaires versus, well, I'm this and that, and you need to do this if you want to have a great date and find the relationship of your dreams and this and that. It's distracting and you seem nervous. So slow it down. Yes, gesture. have powerful gestures, and listen, listen. See, there we go again. Listen, listen.
Listen.
Gesturing, body language is important, and it's my invitation to use it. Use your hands versus just being, okay, we're going to talk about body language today. It's so important to you, and you're going to make lots of money if you master body. It's boring.
I don't believe you.
Exactly.
And I don't believe
exactly.
You look like you have resting boss face.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
RBF, resting boss face. We don't want that.
That's hilarious. That is amazing. And exactly right. And it's boring. It's not interesting. It's just too plain Jane. No one's going to resonate with this. And we're talking about a very exciting topic right now. I can't even do it. Anyways.
I know it's so incongruent. It doesn't work. And here's the thing that I've noticed too. People react to what they see. If you are unenthusiastic and boring and you're bored with the content and that's how you're reflecting, that's the way your audience or your customer or your potential customer is going to take it. But if you're excited and engaged about whatever it is you're talking about, it really will mirror it back. Hopefully, anyway.
Well, exactly. There was a saying when I was at IBM, people will hear your smile through the phone, and they're right. You're in a great place, power posing 478, whatever, they'll hear it through the phone, they'll see it through BigView. And my biggest piece of advice is just to have fun. The other F word that we all often hesitate. Make it fun. Have fun. If you're not having fun, why are you doing it? Have fun, make it fun. That'll get you out of the, cold, stone cold, I'm made of stone. We're going to talk about exciting stuff. Have some fun. That's what people will resonate with anyways. Sure, will some people not like it? Absolutely. That's a great thing. As we talked about, you want polarization. You want that polarization. Otherwise, it's going to be a weak, watered down message that no one hears because there's so much noise in the marketplace. No one's going to hear it anyways. And so forget about perfect. Forget about people not liking it. Talk to the old version of you. Talk to people who need your help. And desire that polarization. If you think you're going to piss someone off, unless you're deliberately being a jerk, it probably means you need to do that. You need to do that video, do that post, not edit it out, not silence all your gifts and all your talents. Someone needs to hear that. If you want to do it and you're afraid, I might do this, it means it's powerful, pointed, and it means you got to do it. So go do it. Hop on BigView, record it, do it, put it out there. That's my 2 cents.
Be salty, not vanilla.
Right on. Look at that. Salty caramel, not vanilla. I love that. Oh, I love that.
There we go. Well, listen, James, this has been such a pleasure. And I've learned, I've taken notes. I've got all my stuff here ready to go with my breathing technique and thinking about that as well as really embodying and thinking about who the learners are or how people need to be communicated to, because everyone's a little bit different, and being thoughtful about that. Sure. And really understanding how we have to be us, unapologetically us, and actively listen, use your body language congruently so that your message lands the way you hope. And so lots and lots of lessons here. I thank all of you all who have joined us in today's webinar, and do know that you can always come back to YouTube's or to BigView's YouTube channel, because this will live there and it's recorded and it'll be there. So if you missed anything, you can always jump back in there and see it. Also, if you'll notice in the chat, there are the links to the giveaways that James has very kindly given to us today, as well as ways to connect with us both. And I do hope that you'll reach out to us. Let's start a conversation. My LinkedIn is on there, as well as, I believe, my website, and would love to be able to continue this conversation offline. And with that, thank you all so much. It's been such a pleasure.
Love it. Thanks for having me here, letting me do what I love. If anyone wants to reach out, all my links are there, or unleashyourpower.com. And just have fun and let your passion overpower your fear, and just go do it. And BigView can help you out with that a lot. So thanks for having me here, everyone, and have a kick-ass rest of your week.
Thanks, James. We'll see ya.
Thank you as well, Sharon. Take care.
Ever before, the way you communicate can make or break your career. Hi, I'm Sharon Delaney McLeod. I'm a television journalist turned speaker and facilitator working with leaders and their teams to amplify their impact. In our hybrid world, it's crucial to connect with each other in meaningful ways. In fact, new research shows that effective communication has become the most vital competency and non-negotiable skill that modern leaders must flex to keep their teams engaged and productivity high. I invite you to follow my content for professional development best practices, podcasts, articles, and videos that will help you drive business results. I look forward to partnering with you in person or virtually to level up what I call your power skills. Hit the link below to start a conversation.
Videos you're proud of. Easily trim your video by selecting the words where you want to start and end. Color your presentation with automatic subtitles and highlighting keywords. Add your brand logo. Add music for an emotional touch. Add your contact info on an animated business card on all your videos. Easily replace green screen with an image or a video loop. Stand out with a web page with your logo, your video at the center, and personalized button for visitors to interact. It's one tap to simultaneously upload your videos on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Always know what to say next with the Big View teleprompter.